Bernier.
I want to say this
Yes.
directly to Canadians. You do not need to choose between Mr. Delay and Mr. Deny. There is another option. There is another option out there. We are committed to a real plan that's going to take on the biggest polluters. It's going to take on the powerful interests, because that's what we need to do. If we want to build a better future,
What is your target?
It's going to mean taking on the powerful.
So if there's one thing clear tonight, it's that Jagmeet Singh won this debate. He won the official English language debate in the 2019 Canadian election. Hands down, no doubt about it. Not only did that opening clip show you how he was able to cut through the noise and make it clear that while Justin Trudeau and Andrew Scheer can bicker with one another, he's the one offering bold solutions that are different from both of them. And this was just one of those lines tonight. There was another line earlier before this where Singh said, look, Trudeau and Scheer, they can bicker with one another about who's worst, but I'm the one who's offering something better. I'm offering a better plan forward. It's not about tearing somebody else down. It's about offering to you, the regular Canadian, a plan that's good for you and your family and your community. And I'm here to do that. I'm going to tax the rich. I'm going to shift away from corporate subsidies, and I'm going to use that money to give you the services and programs you need. I'm going to fight for economic and social and cultural justice in this country, and we can do that together. We can do that by fighting, intolerance as offered by Maxime Bernier, and we can do that by fighting neoliberal do-nothingness as offered by Justin Trudeau and Andrew Scheer. And come with me on this journey to build a better Canada. And that message was a home run tonight. Look, all of the people I've seen on social media agree Jagmeet Singh won this debate. He's currently the one trending highest out of all the politicians Canada-wide on Twitter. And look at this data from Global. Global did a sort of minute-by-minute tracking of how people were thinking about all of the leaders in the debate tonight. And if you look at this, by the end of the night, everyone else but Singh came off worse than they did coming in. Some a lot worse, some only a little bit worse. But look at Jagmeet's numbers. They're literally almost off the page. His numbers are not just better, they're exceedingly better. They're not just the only ones that are positive, they're exceedingly positive. While everyone else floundered at best, Jagmeet Singh skyrocketed tonight because people like what they heard. They liked the vision that Singh was offering, a vision of bold progressive policy, a vision that's very clearly on the side of regular people, not on the side of the elites, or not trying to act like you don't have to pick a side. A policy program that was the most progressive and compassionate thing on offer on that stage. But also they saw a leader who was willing to have a bit of fun, to joke around a little bit, to give personal stories, to talk about how his plan will have a real impact on your day-to-day life. And of course, it was important that they saw a leader who, in a respectful and kind manner, still attacked his opponents when they deserved to be attacked. Whether it was Maxime Bernier or Elizabeth May or Justin Trudeau or Andrew Scheer or Blanchet from the Bloc, it didn't matter. Singh would offer constructive criticism of their plans and then tell you what he would do different and better. That's what made him so effective tonight. And he did that all in a very difficult environment. With 6 people on stage, it's incredibly difficult to cut through the noise. You need to be able to get to your points quickly and efficiently. And Singh did that. Singh was able to come back to the core point. Canadians don't have the services they need because the rich are too rich and they're too powerful. By shifting away our economic priorities from what benefits the most wealthy corporations and people in this country and towards what regular people need to have a good life, we can change the direction of our country for the better. But it was also crucial that he cut into those moments to make these attacks on his opponents effective. And that's what he did with this Mr. Delay and Mr. Deny moment. He saw a moment where Trudeau and Scheer turned to one another and sort of ignored the rest of the room, bickering between themselves about who is worst on this issue. And Singh said, look, Mr. Delay and Mr. Deny, you don't have to pick between these two. They both want you to think this is an either or, but it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way on this particular issue, and it doesn't have to be this way in the election. And again, this ties into the fact that you don't have to choose between Mr. Scheer and Mr. Trudeau, who argue to one another about who is worst. You can pick me, Jagmeet Singh, who's trying to give you something better. Trying not to win your vote through scaremongering aka vote for me or the guy you don't like will win, but rather offer you a positive vision forward. Vote for me and we can build a better Canada together. Over the last couple weeks, I've been talking about the SinghUpswing, and this is just another moment of it. We can see it through the data. We can see it through the anecdotes. We can see it through the headlines from popular media sources like the Globe and Mail, arguing that while other leaders might have been good on isolated issues tonight, or bad on them, Singh took the night. The night belonged to him. This is yet another sign, in my view, that the Singh upswing is going to continue. Over the past few weeks, the NDP's poll numbers have risen steadily. Maybe not as much as NDPers would like, but they've risen. But what has spiked quickly, and we saw that tonight with the global, tracking of sentimentality towards the various leaders, is Singh's own numbers. Not too long ago, Singh was among the more unpopular leaders. Very few people knew who he was, and people didn't like him on average. But over these past couple weeks, his numbers have improved greatly. And now in most polls, he's the only leader with positive momentum. He's one of the few leaders that has positive favorability ratings, aka more people like him than don't like him. And in many polls now, he's in first in that regard. There are a couple that still have Elizabeth May a bit ahead of him, but on average, she's trending downward and is behind Singh on many polls, and Singh is trending upwards, remaining in first. He is quickly becoming the most popular leader amongst the federal party leaders, and I don't see that changing tonight. And the NDP's numbers have been rising, and I don't see that changing tonight either. Canadians are rejecting, more than ever before maybe, the two-party duality in this country. Many polls have both the Conservatives and the Liberals below 35. They do not offer policies that represent the will of the 99%. Or if in Justin Trudeau's case, they do offer them until they win elections, and then they stop offering them. People are sick and tired of the Liberals and Conservatives bickering with one another about who's worst and telling everybody that you have no choice but them, when there's very clearly a young, pragmatic, progressive, charismatic leader in Jagmeet Singh on that stage, ready to offer a different vision to Canadians. A vision that we haven't seen maybe ever in some ways, but certainly not since the 1980s in terms of a bold, left vision. Saying that we're going to tax the rich, we're going to create new social programs, we're going to transition our economy in a way that is not only neutral for workers, but is good for workers. We're going to fight against racist practices like carding, and we're going to decriminalize drugs, and we're going to do all of this in a rubric of reconciliation with Indigenous Canadians, because that is central to the cause on all of these issues. The night belonged to Singh. On the technicals of offering good policy, he won. On entering those key little moments to make your cuts in a very crowded field, he won. On showing that Justin Trudeau and Andrew Scheer more often than not are far too similar, he won. On making sure that he could attack Maxime Bernier and demonstrate the damage that his discourse does, he won. On ensuring that Elizabeth May was not seen as a progressive related to him, which is accurate, he won. And of course, on broadly selling his vision, on tying in these policies and these attacks with a vision for Canada backed up by, good stories and good narrative, he won. This was Jagmeet Singh's best debate performance thus far, and he was damn good in those previous two debates. In the first Maclean's debate, I think he won, but he was nervous. He was clearly working up his strength in that debate. And then in the first French debate, I thought he did very well again. But I don't know if he won. There was a lot of debates about whether Singh maybe won or whether Blanchet won. Nevertheless, he had a good performance, but it wasn't great. It wasn't, exceptional. This time, though, it was absolutely exceptional. Justin Trudeau and Andrew Scheer had no response to his timeliness, his clarity, his compassion, his delivery, his execution. They had no response. And the other smaller party leaders, the Bloc leader, the Green leader, the PPC leader, they were, in a sense, rendered neutralized, because when it really came down to it, Jagmeet Singh was the one offering an alternative to the big two parties. Those other parties had their moments. Blanchet had a good debate. He had his moments. Elizabeth May, when she talked about climate, had her moments. Even Maxime Bernier, in a bad way, had his moments. But it was Jagmeet Singh who, whenever people saw an alternative to the big two parties, and wanted an alternative to the big two parties because neither of them were impressive tonight, Singh was the man for the moment. So guys, I think this was a great night. I think you're going to see the NDP continue to go up in the polls. And I think you're going to continue to see Jagmeet Singh become the most popular politician at the federal level in this country. I don't know if this will lead Jagmeet Singh to a government this time around. We can't make those predictions yet, although I won't rule anything out. But what I do know is that with Jagmeet Singh's continued rise, it's making a minority government more and more likely. And I think what Canadians are going to want to see, unless we do get that NDP government, which again, I'm not ruling out, they don't want to see absolute unaccountable power for Justin Trudeau and Andrew Scheer. Neither of them deserve it, and neither of them can be trusted with it, and neither of them would use that majority power to serve regular working class and middle class people. They won't do it. They'll use that power to serve the Bay Street elite, and they'll use it to serve the pharmaceutical companies, and they'll use it to serve the oil companies. They won't use it to serve regular people. They certainly won't. We need to ensure that we give Jagmeet Singh, this ascendant politician, the man on the SinghUpswing, at the very least the balance of power, if not more. That is the way forward to a progressive Canada where everyone matters, where everyone counts, where everyone's hopes and dreams are concerned, where Indigenous people are supported as partners and not neglected or treated as charity cases. That's what we can do if we give our momentum to Jagmeet Singh and the NDP. Let's make it happen, people. We have 2 weeks left in this election, give or take. There's a lot of time left to build momentum behind the one candidate who wants to offer something for all of us to build a better society.